Can you believe it has been 19 years since Taylor Swift debuted with her first single? 19 years, almost 2 decades since Taylor Swift debuted with Tim McGraw. And so in celebration of 19 years, since June 19th, 2006, let's take a look back and re-experience, if you will, Taylor Swift's first ever single. It says here, Tim McGraw is the debut single by the American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift, released on June 19th, 2006 by Big Machine Records. I know, not the best reputation now. This is a long time ago. Swift wrote the song with Liz Rose for her debut studio album, self-titled Taylor Swift. Produced by Nathan Chapman, Tim McGraw is an acoustic guitar-led country ballad that incorporates the 50s progression and features fiddle, mandolin, and dobro guitar. Some background on Taylor's first ever single. So in 2004, Pennsylvania-born Taylor Swift moved to Nashville, Tennessee at 14 to pursue a career in country music. She quickly signed a songwriting contract with Sony ATV Music Publishing in 2004, the youngest signee in its history, Taylor Swift, and a recording contract with Big Machine Records in 2005. Swift spent 4 months near the end of 2005 recording her debut album, Taylor Swift. Recording was wrapped by the time Swift had completed her freshman year of high school. So Taylor was going to high school and working on her debut album. That's incredible. Swift developed the idea for Tim McGraw during a math class at school. Something about math classes, because you know what? You know the song by Three Doors Down, Kryptonite? If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? Brad from Three Doors Down wrote that in math class in high school. So there's something about numbers, man. I'm telling you, there's something about numbers and there's something about math class. It's interesting. So she came up with the idea for Tim McGraw during a math class at school and wrote it within 15 minutes. This is very similar to the story of Kryptonite by Three Doors Down. While in that class, Swift thought about how her relationship with her senior boyfriend would end because he would leave for college. I started thinking about all the things that I knew would remind him of me. After finishing school, she came to the Sony ATV office to finish a song with co-writer Liz Rose. They completed the track on a piano. According to Rose, Swift came to her with the idea and the melody, knowing exactly what she wanted. The two brainstormed ideas to polish the track, and the first thing that came to Swift was her love for Tim McGraw's music. The final lyrics contain several personal references, including Swift's favorite song of McGraw, Can't Tell Me Nothing, from his 2004 album, Live Like You Were Dying. Now, Swift initially titled the track When You Think Tim McGraw, a decision that Rose considered weird, but also bold. She approached the producer Nathan Chapman to record the song. Chapman had produced demos for other artists in Nashville, and his studio was a converted one-car garage at the back of the Sony ATV offices. Big Machine was skeptical of Chapman because he had not produced a commercial album, but Swift believed they had the, quote, right chemistry. He said that when Swift first played the song to him, he was astonished by the emotional engagement and thought of the song as a refreshing way to depict a romance between two people. He arranged the instruments, played both acoustic and electric guitars, and sang background vocals. Other instruments recorded for Tim McGraw include fiddle, mandolin, and bass guitar, dobro guitar, and drums. It's quite the robust debut single, Taylor. Now, in a meeting that Swift had with Big Machine's head, Scott Borchetta, to discuss which songs would be featured on her debut album, she performed Tim McGraw for Borchetta on ukulele. Imagine being in that room. As soon as Swift finished singing it, Borchetta decided that it would be her first single. He suggested that Swift rename it Tim McGraw, deeming it a move that could make fans of McGraw, a contemporary country superstar, immediately become curious in her name. I remember that. I remember being like, there's a country song called Tim McGraw. This was immediately a hit, by the way. From my estimation, like I was not listening to country music in 2006. I knew about the song in 2006. In the summer of 2006, I knew about this song. Swift initially did not believe that Tim McGraw was an appropriate choice for a single, but she retrospectively reflected that it was a right decision. You know what's so weird? Like, it's so weird. I don't know if you ever feel like this about friends where you know somebody now and they're a really close friend of yours. And then you think about like the first time you ever heard their name or saw them at a party or saw them at work or, you know, your first acknowledgement of their existence. And you go, oh my God, that's so weird that like so and so is the same person as so and so. You know, it's so weird that like the Taylor Swift we see with Travis Kelce at hockey games and at the Super Bowl, like that's the same curly haired girl that sang Tim McGraw. There's something funny about that to me. Like just the evolution is enormous. So Swift did not initially believe that Tim McGraw was an appropriate choice for a single, but she retrospectively reflected that it was the right decision. Big Machine released Tim McGraw to country radio in the United States on June 19, 2006, 19 years ago, and it is first on the track listing for Taylor Swift, the self-titled album that was released on October 24th, 2006. After the 2019 dispute regarding the ownership of Swift's albums that Big Machine had released, Tim McGraw was reissued on 7-inch vinyl by Big Machine on August 16th, 2019. To promote this single, Swift spent mid-2006 sending promotional copies of Tim McGraw to country radio stations across the United States. With every envelope that I would seal, I would look at the address and the station on there and think, please, please just listen to this one time. She also encouraged her fans via MySpace to request their local radio stations play the song. Swift said that when the subject of Tim McGraw learned about the song, he thought it was, quote, cool and kept his friendship with her despite their breakup. In a 2021 interview with Apple Music, McGraw said that he initially had some reservations about the song, saying, quote, have I gotten to that age now to where they're singing songs about me? Does that mean I've jumped the shark a bit? But he ultimately enjoyed it and became friends with Swift. In the United States, Tim McGraw debuted at number 60 on the Hot Country Songs chart dated July 1st, 2006. It reached the top 100 of hot country songs by December 2006 and peaked at number 6 on the chart dated January 27, 2007. On the Billboard Hot 100 chart, the single debuted at number 86 on the issue dated September 26, 2006, peaked at number 40 on January 13, 2007, and spent 20 weeks there. It was one of the award-winning songs at the 2007 Country Awards by Broadcast Music Incorporated, which honored the most played country songs in the United States on U.S. television and airplay for the year. The single had sold 1.6 million digital copies by November 2017 and was certified double platinum by surpassing 2 million units based on sales and streaming by the Recording Industry Association of America in March 2020. The album version of Tim McGraw, if you were curious, is 3 minutes and 52 seconds long. And the music video for Tim McGraw was directed by Trey Fanjoy and filmed in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The cabin that featured in the video is property of Johnny Cash. Did you know that? Swift said that the male lead was cast because of his physical resemblance to the subject of the song. The video premiered on July 22nd, 2006 on Great American Country. It was nominated for number 1 streamed video from a new artist at the web-hosted 2006 CMT Online Awards and won Breakthrough Video of the Year at the 2007 CMT Awards. As I'm sure you remember, the video begins with Swift dressed in a white sundress and lying on the grass by a lake holding a transistor radio. It's so crazy she's like the same person. Because I remember this person, but she's just evolved so much. It's like, wow, that's really like that's the same person. It's pretty interesting. So anyways, very different world we lived in back then. Very different world.